Hi there, it's David with Yellow Weld. I'm checking in to do another part in our series on pricing and frequently asked questions. So today we're going to be talking about stairways. Stairways are such a common part of our day-to-day infrastructure that it's very easy to pay them no attention at all. But the truth is that we get a lot of inquiries on these because they are so common. So regardless of whether or not you are in a residential or a commercial space, they are common for front entryway, rear access, rear loading zones for areas that are going to have trucks backing up to docks, fire escapes, or patio access for decks or things like that. So these come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, which makes it really difficult to boil it down to a rough price. To give some examples here, there are several different finishing options. To name a few, we have high quality paint, powder coating, and galvanizing. The price between these things can range a fair amount. And then the overall size and scope of the project is another one that can play quite a bit of role. So some places they only need 2 or 3 steps to get up to a concrete slab. Other places are looking for several flights that zigzag up the back of their building. So as you can imagine, there's quite a bit of price difference that has to come into that due to material and labor and the logistics of that install. So the logistics, since we're touching on that can vary as well too, because certain work sites, if there's only one entryway into the building and we have to put a stairway in that, when we remove the existing stairway, if there is one, then there's no way to access the building until we're finished with our work, which makes it a little bit tricky. So in cases like that, the way that we operate that work site might be a little bit different than one where we're in the back of the building where there's no traffic. Additionally, the accessibility of the area is very important. A few years ago, I did an install that was in an apartment building where there were 2 walls, and on one side of the opening it was a street, and on the other side there was a row of air conditioning units, and there was only about a width of a person to walk through to get into this side, and on this side it was a busy street. So we weren't able to get any lifting equipment like forklifts or anything like that into this space because it had a roof as well, so we couldn't get a crane in there. So we had to get very creative about how we were going to do a lifting operations with rope and pulleys. And anytime that we have to get creative like this, it can take a little bit longer and it can take a little bit more time and energy to ensure that we're doing this in the safest way possible for both ourselves as well as your property. Because if anything were to get damaged on site, that's something that neither one of us want. So the circumstances of these installations can make quite a bit of difference as well. So the easiest way is to just get some picture or video or get our eyes on site to take a look at what kind of logistics we're going to be working with. But if you check out the article below, there will be an example stairway that we're going to talk about in more detail to give you just kind of a benchmark for what we can expect. And to get you exact pricing on your project, we're just going to have a conversation about it, and I'll have to take a look. But I appreciate you checking in. If you have any questions, please reach out. We're always happy to have a conversation. Take care.